Hi, welcome back to Mike's Diabetes World. Yeah, it's a little hot, so I just took my shirt off and lying in bed. See, I have pants on. So. Oh no! But, you know, I saw a video today from a British YouTuber who goes to the States quite regularly, and it was stop thinking about people's opinions. Oh no, you're not treating your diabetes right. Who cares what they say? Check things out with your doctor. It's as pure as that. I don't expect everyone to understand everything, but here it's not worth getting into arguments about it. So don't try to solve everybody's worries about how you're treating your diabetes or your children's. That's even worse. Everyone feels that they have a right to criticize. Well, you know, my sister has diabetes and she doesn't have to take insulin, so your son shouldn't have to take insulin. Well, we're dealing with two different types of diabetes, and you know, I really think your son or daughter, you know, really needs to find their own way and keeping their blood sugar as close to normal as possible. Now, I am so thankful that I live up here, but I watch some of the American videos of people trying to get insulin, trying to get the insulin pumps, and they're doing it to treat and grow up normal. And there they go and saying, well, you know, you're not a true diabetic, so, you know, and your A1Cs are much too good to be needing a pump, so we'll say no. And they're looking at this and I'm thinking, who the hell do insurance companies think they are? Just give us all your money. And, you know, the high price of insulin that people have to end up paying is ridiculous. You need to be able to get a life-saving treatment. Now, type 2, we could have a disagreement about, did they eat everything off the shelves, and, you know, it's their lifestyle, and why do they need a pump now? Because they didn't do things. And I'm thinking, no. Type 1s had no control over this. No one even saw it coming. And it hits most families probably at a stressful period. And to think, oh well, all these families, would be able to buy their insulin. And I am so thankful that up here in Canada, insulin is part of our pharmacare. And it should be everywhere. Type 1 diabetic care should be covered by all insurance plans and not to be left, oh well, no, I don't think, you're doing too good of a job, so a pump that isn't required. So, why do people have to pay through the nose for something that they need to live? Now, I guess I've been a little spoiled, being brought up in an era where you need something, you get it from the doctor, but you don't pay like $700 a bottle for insulin. And then there's the glucometer strips, and then there's the lancets, and there's syringes, and with the pump, there's tube. It keeps going on and on. And I could understand if someone, for some reason, puts you into this category, then fine. But type 1 diabetics don't find themselves in this way just for the sake of it. Our bodies turn on us, and just because the insulin companies want to report astronomical prices, and I think I mentioned this once before, but Sir Banting sold the insulin prescription for $1 so that anyone could get it. And now there are people in the States who have to buy one thing of insulin and it has to last them 2 to 3 months. And they sit there and they ration off. This has got to be crazy. I think free insulin for everyone. Actually, let's try free diabetic supplies for everyone. I think it's worth having. But, so often people seem to think that diabetes, oh well, they can just go with the very cheaper. Now I can understand, and I think I spoke to this in a video I did on applying for disability if you're on insulin or type 1 diabetic, and I thought, you really shouldn't have to do that. But myself, I was going up and down. I couldn't be responsible at work anymore. I had problems with my kidneys at the time, and I just tried to do so much more. And at one moment, I went to see my endocrinologist, and I had to go on welfare because I had moved to a grocery store and wasn't getting any hours, so I could not live. And, I had trouble just getting that job at the time. So, when I got it, and you could get insurance for certain length of time if you've done a certain amount of hours. But, summer comes around and you have no hours whatsoever because a lot of the kids come back from school, and this is astronomical. Hard-working people, even unemployed people, I'm sorry, they need insulin. They need access to glucometers. Glucometers are easy to get. You just have to buy 100 strips, and chances are you get a glucometer. But insulin is ridiculous. And so often you have to go and get things cleared. Like, because of my disability, anytime I need to update my sensors, I have to go through, not an insurance company, but I have to go through the British Columbia government. And who prescribed that? We don't supply sensors. If you want sensors, you'll have to buy them. And I took it to, it wasn't trial, I think it was called arbitration. And I won the case because I needed it. I was stuck in the hospital and I wasn't going to be able to get out. When I got out, every time I needed to renew it, there is still roadblocks. I'm finally at the point where I can get the sensors, but I have to get a quote every time. And I think I could understand with the Ministry of Social Development, and I'm not totally upset with them, but I'm not trying to scam. But I guess there are people out there trying to scam, trying to get more than what they're worth. And oh yes, I mean, there are people who want to get, bags of needles. They used to have people in my high school, I'm talking the private school, and I get from the nurse a certain amount for I think it was for the week. And, they want people stabbing. And people kept coming in and taking them. And they were using them for various reasons. But it was like, I would go to take my insulin, didn't have any. Try to go explain that to the nurse. And there was a child who was having emotional problems at the time, let's put it that way. And he was on some sort of opioid. I don't know if it was actually Ritalin but it was something that made you, it would make you feel so much. And he was expelled because he was selling this. He wasn't taking it. I don't know if he needed it or not. But, come on. So, be aware, and if you're able to buy insulin, buy diabetic supplies, be thankful. And everyone should have the opportunity to get the insulin they need. Sure, oh well, let's just say no and let's just kill them off. If it's a luxury, well, maybe that's something different. But insulin isn't a luxury, it's a basic necessity for some people to live. And how many people would be up in arms if you couldn't breathe, that you had to buy your air to breathe every single day, and some people do. But I mean, get with it, people. Lobby your governments to make diabetic supplies for type 1s available to every diabetic in your area. I don't know how we would do this, but I'm sure we will find a way. Anyway, have a super day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye now.